Chrissy here at A Little Glam, A Lot of Bomb. Happy New Year. I hope that you enjoyed your holiday season. I know that I did, and my time away to soak it in and be present was necessary and wonderful. You can tell by the outside there, it's a bit gray and we're actually experiencing some storms, but it does make for some cozy weather. I'll start with a personal update, which I'm very cautious with and slow to share. Something you won't ever get from me and this space is oversharing about my life for the sake of content creation. So something that you didn't see last year was that the end of 2023 was a hard time for me. We're a military family, and during the fall season, and with a mix of a few other things, our family was preparing to choose a new assignment because our time here in beautiful Florida was soon done in 2024. Now, this wasn't abrupt news to us. We knew the time was approaching for a new adventure, and that is the life of a military family. But we just didn't feel our hearts prepared to say goodbye to our home and our family. Some of you may know that we are native Floridians, and we've been fortunate enough to be stationed in Florida, on the coast of Florida, for just about 8 years now. As a military family, that's usually unheard of. But God. Here's the big update. We put in some work, a lot of work. We prayed and we waited and waited, and our time in Florida has been extended by another few years. God knows the desires of our hearts, and He is a good, giving Father. For our winter Naturalist Badge, Bella is studying the red cardinal, which is a Florida resident, and so that ties along nicely with our winter term for Florida Nature School Year 2 and being able to observe the red cardinal outdoors. For journal work and book work in December, we read Red and Lulu by Matt Tavares, a story about two red cardinals and the Rockefeller tree. I also printed this nature study by Stephanie Hathaway Designs. Bella used the anatomy illustration in the mini study to copy into her nature journal and label the parts of the bird. Bella utilized one of the cursive tracing sheets from the pack for more handwriting. Then Bella worked on this lesson by Firefly Nature School Winter Birds, reading through the informational passages and completing the in the field activities following with the questions to ponder prompts. More language arts and various opportunities. In our favorite Mad Libs, we got a few more in different topics as stocking stuffers for Christmas. So still working through Redwall and absolutely loving our adventures through the Middle Ages. In Hearth Magic's Redwall Family Learning Guide, there is a suggestion for a lesson on foreshadowing. We took to YouTube University for a video explanation and followed it with a discussion and relating it to Redwall and examples of how the author used this literary device throughout the story. This formal lesson was intended for Bella, as the skill set is for middle school, but Noah and Luna wanted to sit in and followed along. I encourage them to illustrate an example of foreshadowing found in Redwall in their main lesson book pages, along with copywork of the definition of foreshadowing. Twice a month, we meet with our homeschool besties to work on a Redwall project. We did that through December to work on a stained glass window inspired project. So initially our friend hosted this project, but it took a little bit longer than anticipated. And ultimately we finished the project at home. The supplies that we used were canvas with acrylic paint and metallic hot glue, although in hindsight we should have gone with puffy paint. While we painted, we watched the first season of Redwall. It's a cartoon that was an animated cartoon made in 2001. It was pretty spot on with the plot of the book. We enjoyed watching the characters of the book come to life along with the medieval imagery and the music. So each of the kids chose to illustrate a Redwall character, and overall they had a great time with the project. We're most comfortable with the watercolor medium, and it was apparent, but I'm glad that we stepped out of our comfort zone and worked with acrylics. So let's switch gears a bit. I will give you an update on my teenagers while still respecting personal boundaries. So for anyone who is watching my channel for the first time, I have two high schoolers. Both of my high schoolers are dual enrolled, which means they are completing high school at home. They are homeschoolers while earning credits towards their associate's degree at a local state college. We were waiting on the status of this extension in Florida for their next chess move in regards to their senior year and their college path. So as of right now, a lot is still in prayer. Currently looking into applying for a full-time senior program so that they can take advantage of a full-time college schedule instead of the current schedule, which is 3 classes per semester as a dual enrolled student. And then taking advantage of various in-state transfer university programs. My son is a year younger, and we were expecting and prepared to graduate him a year early so that he can graduate in the state of Florida. But now he's been given the gift of time and now relishing in his high school years as a high school student athlete and building relationships with a solid community of friends. Math for the Young Ones has been in the kitchen and at the lead of our young chef Bella. So in technical mathematical concepts, we're deep in fractions and multiplication. Noah and Luna are identifying fractions. Bella is understanding how to add and subtract with like and unlike denominators. Noah is still being introduced to multiplication, and Bella is reviewing and solidifying multiplication. But there's so much more than that happening in the kitchen as Bella is reading recipes. For example, our family is large, which means we're usually doubling a recipe, and that's a great opportunity for recipe scaling and math story problems. For example, Bella's making an omelet. If we need 2 eggs for each batch of omelets and want to make 3 batches, how many eggs do we need in total? Lessons and practice on kitchen safety, temperature, and tools. Recently, Bella graduated from a children's knife to a regular kitchen knife. Show me what a hole looks like.
But this hole could cover the camera.
So show me what a half looks like. How many halves do you need to make a hole?
2.
Alright, and how do I need you to slice them?
1/4.
In
1/4.
1/4. And how many 1/4 do you need for a hole?
4.
4. And that is called?
Fraction.
Fractions.
Right, you just never fractions.
I ninja'd you into learning fractions today.
Mom! Because I was like, hey, is Mom teaching me fractions?
So if we add 1/4 and 1/4 salami.
A half. Yeah.
So if you add 1/4 and 1/4 and another 1/4 and 1/4, so if you add 1/4 or you multiply 1/4 4 times, what do you get?
Full pizza.
That's right.
That's true.
So you just did fraction addition and fraction multiplication. You multiplied 1/4 4 times.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pattern and sequence practice in identifying patterns in cooking steps. So for example, discussing the patterns of mixing wet and dry ingredients in baking, or a lunch favorite around here, making non-bread pizza. A simple lunch idea and engaging math activity in where the young ones are learning the pattern and sequencing to assembling a pizza. So first is the olive oil and the sprinkle of salt and pepper, saucing the bread, sprinkling the cheese, adding your toppings, baking, and finally discussing some fractions when slicing the pizza. Bella recently asked to explore the measuring cup and spoons, so we compared. I encouraged her to have fun with pouring water while reading the units of measurements, understanding the equivalent of measurements, and reinforcing fraction concepts. I created this printable as my January content for Made to Homeschool, 5 math in the kitchen lessons and activity suggestions. As a Made to Homeschool member, you'll have access to this for free along with the rest of the member library of printables, workshops, videos, articles, and forums. Next month, I'll be hosting my first live workshop, and it'll be on the essentials of nature journaling with children. I'll leave the link to Made to Homeschool in the description box of this video. In January's years past, I've shared haul videos of what my kids got for Christmas, including some educational type gifts. We don't have over-the-top Christmases, but here's a little haul of some of our favorite goodies, mostly art supplies under the tree. Scrabble has actually been on my wish list for a while. I was just waiting on my youngest to catch up so that we can play it together as a family. An excellent engaging tool for vocabulary, spelling practice. The repetitive nature of spelling within the context of a game can reinforce correct spelling patterns. Solving crossword puzzles also requires analytical thinking and problem-solving skills. And crossword games can reinforce phonics skills by requiring students to sound out words based on their understanding of letter-sound relationships. The highly coveted Prisma Color premiere. Bella did not have a Stanley Cup on her wish list this year, but she did have a personal set of Prisma colored pencils. She's ready and a good steward of her belongings. These pencils are smooth, highly pigmented, and resist to cracking and chipping. I'm excited for her to start using them in her main lesson books. Bella also asked for felt pens, and I went with Arteza, which we also enjoy their products of supplies. Also on her wish list and paired with the felt pens is this book, Learn to Draw 75 Kawaii Dogs. It's an introduction to the kawaii art aesthetic. Bella loves doodle art, and I just love her creative heart. My personal favorite gift is this mirror and jewelry cabinet, which was gifted to Ailani, my teenager, by us. It's funny when your daughter gets to the age of owning things that you would want for yourself. So it's not a full-length mirror, but it's designed to be a full body mirror, if that makes any sense, and it's because of the height that you're going to hang it, as it's a makeup mirror. It's just super practical. We live in a small home. It's a 1,900 square foot home, and we wouldn't have it any other way. It's worth the island life, but nonetheless, it takes ingenuity and a touch of minimalism and organization to make it work. This mirror, it's just practical for Ailani's room and her personal items. It stores makeup and jewelry. It's equipped with a few multifunction storage boxes. It has a lock key function. The installation was fairly easy. It just took 2 of us, and it's not too bulky. The look is fairly simple and sleek. Luna has been enjoying this Sarah's Silks Play Silk play map. It's a hand-painted play map depicting a rainbow land scene, but there are other scenes available too, like a garden, under the sea, forest, a jungle, perfect for small world imaginative play. I paired it with these little magic cabin mini posable fairies. Luna also received this 15-piece woodland themed tin tea set, which has been perfect for tea parties with her stuffies. Is there anything more memorable and adorable than tea parties with your stuffies? That's it for today's catch-up video, friends. Thank you to those who have reached out to me through the holidays. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your grace. And if you've been in a season anything like mine, I leave you with this. So many feel lethargic, unmotivated, or worn out in this hemisphere. We are really not made to rocket straight through winter, ablaze with energy. Look at nature. The ground and plants and animals are deep at rest. This is the natural way of things. Spend some time with the long nights, the moon, solitude, the bare earth, stillness. Be easier on yourself.